Hello, everyone! The long-awaited 26th episode of Skibidi Toilet Multiverse is finally out, and it's been incredibly long this time, but it was surely as much interesting in addition to its length. So today I'm going to give you a full analysis of it, as well as find all the secrets for you guys, and build some theories about what's been actually going on in here. Who is this mysterious ninja drill man? How did the Skibidi know where the drillman's escape route was? And how exactly is G-Man involved in everything that's been going on in this multiverse so far? And today I'm going to answer all of those questions for you, my friends. So get your tea and snacks ready and prepare to watch this video to the end because it's going to be really cool. Let's go. The episode begins from the moment when the squad of cameramen lands near some sort of gates. And after a few seconds, it becomes pretty clear that they arrive to the location at the emergency exit from the drillmen's base, which I have already mentioned in the analysis of the 24th episode. This map shows that the emergency tunnel is being located pretty far away from the base itself, but despite this fact, someone has kindly placed those lanterns in here. You can also notice the green sleeves belonging to the POV cameraman, while he was holding a card, and these sleeves actually signal to us that this is the high-speed guy from the 22nd episode. But based on what happens next, he can no longer use the powers that the clockwoman had given to him. So the agents approach the sign that has been saying Drillman Underground Headquarters, which actually confirms that they arrived where they needed to, and immediately after that, the doors to the complex begin to open. And most likely, someone managed to do such a thing from the inside of this complex, because right after this happened, a small number of drillmen started running out of the conquered base. And in slow motion, you can see how one of the drillmen pushes his friend away, which is why he disappears for one brief moment, and after that, he falls to the ground and no longer shows any signs of life. And I don't really know what it was, but it didn't seem like it came directly from his touch, because afterwards he pushed the POV as well, and nothing like that did happen to him. Maybe this guy still has some kind of supernatural powers, and in this turmoil he decided to get rid of his rival so that no one would suspect him. What do you guys think of that? Anyway, let's move on. When all the drillmen run out of the corridor, we see a Skibidi toilet with a saw coming out behind them. But the strange thing here is that while all these guys were busy running out, you could see something green that looked like a saw in this frame, as if this Skibidi was standing here all the time and kindly waited for all the agents to evacuate. And finally, one of the last drillmen appears, of whose survival we have been already aware for quite a long time, and this is Drillman with the nail gun. He fires at this strange Skibidi while retreating, which stuns him and allows the last drillman to run out. Why did I call this Skibidi strange, though? Well, didn't you find his behavior a little unusual? His glowing eyes, some kind of fatigue movements, as well as the desire to bite Drillman? In any case, we will still have the opportunity to see the strangeness of these Skibidi toilets. At the cost of the orange-shirted drillman's left hand, they managed to close the gate, at least for a while. And in this frame, you can see some kind of nail in the broken arm, but I have an assumption that this is actually some kind of broken part in his hand, which began to come out after the arm was bitten off. The agents leave the complex and begin to board the cameraman's helicopter, and it is at this moment that 3 helicopter Skibidi rise above the ground, one of which has a rocket launcher. And with the usage of it, he immediately destroys the agent's helicopter. And I'm very interested to know, how exactly did they manage to find out about this place? And how they ended up here just in general, because they rose from the ground, and it seemed as if they teleported to the place next to this exit, after which they began their ascent. And they did it exactly at the moment when all the agents got assembled. How could they even find out about this place, if even the cameramen knew its coordinates pretty loosely? Of course, I'm not hinting at anything here, but so unfortunately, the cameraman's helicopter with the last drillman was destroyed by this freaking Skibidi, which has affected this guy's mental state pretty hard as it seems to me, and it can be absolutely understood. I mean, just try imagining a situation like that. They only escaped from the horror that they had been witnessing before, and after that, something like this happens once again. That must be really stressing for those poor dudes. So press F, guys, and pay your respects. The orange drill man wanted to try to actually rescue his comrades, but the Skibidi toilets would clearly not allow him to do this. However, I do not think that his desire to pull such a thing was too great. And why I think so, I will tell you a little bit later. And now, I want to talk about this huge toilet, which looks like a welder's skibidi, but with some differences. He has a balloon filled with gas on the toilet tank, some devices in front as well as an arm. Although this weird thing does actually have it on the left side and not on the right one. And speaking of the differences, instead of just one balloon, he actually has two of them, and also instead of a welding device, they attached a minigun to him, as well as helicopter blades directly. And instead of a welding mask on his face, there is a night vision device, which is similar to what the satellite Skibidi had. He was quite ready to annihilate the remaining agents at this point, when suddenly, no other than Plunger Cameraman, who had not been there with us for a very long time, flew to their aid. And I'm so freaking glad to see this guy again, and how he saves his comrades from another dangerous situation once more. He gets rid of those two little henchmen, but the huge Skibidi turned out to be too much for him though, because the freezing plungers were not enough to stop this monster. However, the Plunger Cameraman managed to disable his minigun before he was caught by this Skibidi, after which a pretty funny scene occurs, where the cameraman shows the middle finger to Skibidi right next to his huge eye, and then he throws the plunger straight into the same eye, freezing it in the end. This giant is clearly not very happy with an experience of such a terrible humiliation, so then he throws the cameraman's transport in a fit of rage. But fortunately, this guy was able to survive this crash. And thanks to the POV, he got out of the wreckage while the huge toilet was busy trying to remove a frozen mask. And just look at his face in that moment. Right between the places where his normal eyes should be, there is a third huge eye, with which he looks into this device. And it becomes pretty clear why he looks exactly like that. And I don't know why, but this Skibidi reminded me a bit of the Cyclops from the cartoon called Shrek. Although I think the majority of you guys must know about this film already. So, the agents managed to successfully reach the tunnel, most likely due to the fact that the Plunger Cameraman was capable of disabling the minigun Skibidi effectively. So he has nothing to do but to start banging on this gate in the hope that he will be let in.
Let me in! Let me in!
However, these guys are in a very unpleasant situation right now, because from both sides to them there are multiple Skibidi toilets that are trying to break though, and they cannot do anything about them, and only some kind of miracle can help them right now. And as usual, it actually happens. And the miracle I was talking about really appears. And it saves our heroes from this dead end. At the moment when the circular saws appear from the gates that lead to the underground complex, the sounds from the outside stop, and the outer gate opens, near which the defeated Skibidi is lying, and right from his head jumps the one, whose appearance could already be seen in the leaks, and my assumption that this may be the same character did not come true this time. But in any case, I'm even glad that we will see some new characters and their development in the series, as well as the fact that in addition to drillmen, who were on this base, there are also others, which also indicates that this was not their only base, and we will definitely see other representatives of this race again. And now, let's move on to this savior. When he appears, the oriental music from the game called Prince of Persia starts playing, and on his back there is a certain symbol. And since my subscribers are the smartest people on Earth, they told me that this is a symbol of Zoroastrianism, one of the oldest religions in the Iran, where the creators of the Skibidi Toilets multiverse series come from. And this led me to some thoughts, which I would like to tell you about. Who is the prototype of this mysterious drill man, and where does he come from? How is G-Man really involved in what's going on, and why didn't the drill man in the orange shirt help his comrades escape? The second part will be much more interesting, but in order to not stretch this video for too long, I will ask you to check that you are subscribed to my channel so that you won't miss the analysis of the second part. And that was me, ISO Toilet. See ya!